Hello everyone, my name is Sonono. I'm a certified permaculture designer. In this video, I'm going to teach you about setting up a permaculture system for chickens through my experience. I'm going to tackle these main aspects. Number one, the introduction, which is basically talking about what is permaculture. The second one, why create a natural system for chickens. The third one, the management of the natural system. We're going to jump into it. To begin with, permaculture is an ethical science that integrates human activity with natural surroundings to create productive, mutually beneficial systems that mimic nature and promote synergism. There are three simple ethics which collectively help to guide our behavior towards productive systems that benefit people and the planet. The first one is earth care. Here, the aim is to preserve and regenerate the environment. The second one is people care. People have to look out for each other. This ethic specifically looks to avoid the structures of social exploitation which has become so prevalent in the modern day. The third one is return of the surplus. Permaculture includes the idea that everyone's basic needs should be met. By governing our own needs and having conscious efforts to achieve a stable human inhabitation of the earth and respecting the genuine needs of other beings, we can create surplus resources to further the other key permaculture ethics. Basically, these life-giving resources need to be distributed fairly amongst people, plants and animals. To exemplify this, your chickens can give you an abundance of manure, which you can use to create a lot of liquid manure to water your plants with. Some of the liquid manure can then be shared with your neighbor who's also growing food for his family. This is because living systems must be tended and cared for. The second aspect, why create a natural system for chickens? A sustainable system produces as much energy as it consumes so that there is enough to expand the system over the lifetime of its components. In other words, sustainability is when enough is created to recreate what has created it. Given the right conditions, your chickens will steadily multiply. And also, there is less energy that is used to manage a natural system, and some inputs can be supplied by other elements of the system. For example, instead of using an infrared light to produce heat to warm the chicks, the mother hen can provide that warmth for them. And the sound that they produce can be used as a wake-up call. Chickens also get natural vitamin D as they free range. And they also act as biological resources. In permaculture, we use biological systems when possible to do the work on our property. It's important to understand that free-ranging chickens in your garden or orchard can replace pesticides by eating bugs. They can also replace machine tillers by scratching naturally on the ground. They also replace fertilizers by applying their droppings directly on the soil. And they also replace herbicides by eating weeds. Because the diet is diversified, you get eggs and meat that is very high in nutrients and flavor. They'll also give you the finest manure, which is highly rich in nitrogen, making it ideal for aiding in plant growth. The third aspect is the management of the natural system. I'm going to start with the structure. You want to face their housing towards the sunny side and block off the windy side. You might also want to install some natural tree shrubs on the windy side to keep them protected in the winter. You also want to make sure that their bedding is always dry, otherwise you'll be starting to breed bacteria if it's somehow wet. You may also want to give them easy access to food and water. As for me, I've actually taken some bricks and used them a lot in my system. For the drinkers, I've put the bricks on top of the pillars where I have my chicken nests, and then I put my water on top so that it stays clean. And then I've done the same thing, but then on the ground for my feeders. You also want to make sure that you have nests for them to lay eggs. They need to feel that they are safe, and then that way it will actually make them broody. You may also want to subdivide your chicken run and have a nursery where they will raise their chicks. And you might also want to separate them when they have chicks, because they tend to get overprotective and they are not so good to just keep with the others. So you may want to separate it with the chicks. And then also you can, like with your free ranging area, can be directly linked with the chicken run so that the chickens have easy access to it. Additionally, you may also want to incorporate a fodder system in your free ranging area so that you maximize on the diet for your chickens. And then the rooster to hen ratio. The size of a flock is normally one rooster for every 8 to 10 hens. And the chickens will instinctively form these social orders on their own. The chickens will be happier and therefore healthier and more productive when they have plenty of friends to keep them company. You may also want to diversify your chickens. You can select breeds that give the most of what you're looking for naturally. Also select some early or mid or late season breeds. For example, you may want to have a few chickens that lay well in the winter and some that do better in the summer's heat. You can also select multi-purpose birds that are good for meat, laying eggs, and for working in your garden. Well, this concludes my presentation on setting up a permaculture system for chickens. Getting a small flock and raising them the natural way is a sound investment and has positive impact on one's permaculture system or garden. The result is a neat and tidy garden with fewer insects roaming around and fresh eggs for breakfast every morning. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or feedback, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to share.